Wanting to get good guitar is something we all have in common, but it doesn't always mean the same thing. Let's put a marker on what getting good means to you and stop wasting time going in the wrong direction. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome, friends, to this episode of the Play Guitar Podcast. I am Lee, and this is the podcast that's determined to make you a better guitar player. No matter if you're just starting out or you've been playing for years, this is the show that will help you become the guitarist that you always wanted to be. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and check out the description for all of the links from the show. Right now, for those of you who are listening back at a later time, this is the third week of the year. It's very exciting. And from my experience, the majority of you are practicing guitar and you're deep in it. The massive distraction of the holidays is totally over, and your mind is clear and set on new things, new guitar adventures. And there are a lot of us in this community who are starting over in life. They're starting over in work, starting over in family. I'm one of these people, and this can be a very exciting time or very upsetting time, depending on the way you approach it. And if you're listening to this, playing the guitar is most likely a big part of your plans. It's not an easy thing to do, though. Life, fear, negativity, distraction, they're always around the corner, and it's easy to forget that your will can be powerful when you're realistic about it. I got a question for you. What was the last thing that you really had to have? Or what was the last thing that you really had to achieve? No questions. This had to happen. Did it come true? Did you get it done? Did you work hard at it? Did you see it all of the way through? Or did you let other people or other situations steer you in the wrong direction? Did you lose your positivity and end up somewhere you didn't intend to be? So I'm going to spend some time with you today, and I'm going to help you to see that your success with the guitar and other things in life too has nothing to do with the little secrets or the tricks or the things you like to click on, but has everything to do about how you approach your goals. You see, I'm trying to shift your thinking because that's what's holding you back. So the title for this episode is, Are You Good Enough at Guitar? This is a very common question, but it's not a good question at all. What will be your answer to that? I'd like to know. Well, could be like, well, I'd like to be better, or like, no, I'm really terrible at guitar. Let me tell you something. You are right where you are right now. And the way that you move forward depends on the answer to this question. Are you going to see this out? Are you going to continue this journey on the guitar or not? You see, it's important to lay all of this out right now. Well, why is that? Well, because our window for this new year momentum, it's starting to close. It's about to wear off. Week 3 and week 4 are the best. They're great. We're in it. But month 2, February, is right around the corner. And that's when everything starts to drop off. And this struggle that we have to keep the momentum up and to achieve something, it gets very tiresome. And it becomes easy to just go another direction, to replace it with something that's not very stressful, something you don't have to work so hard for. This is short-term memory stuff. It's energy taking. It's constantly pushing and using stress as fuel. But I am here today to tell you that this is the wrong way to go. You don't even need this. You don't need the beginning of the year momentum at all. There is an alternative to all of this. There's another way of achieving the same result with less stress and also a sense of belonging to something really cool. This is long-term memory stuff. It's effortless progress, but you just have to do a few things. It's progress through repetition and routine. So the answer to the question is, yes, you are good enough at the guitar for where you are right now on your journey. But the question should be, How are you going to direct your journey? How are you going to steer your journey with the guitar into the future? You see, I'm trying to shift your thinking because that's what's holding you back. Let's talk about the truth. What's the truth here? They're going to be failures on the way to success. Always. It happens every single time. But the only way that you're going to lose this is if you stop. And once you realize that your decisions are in charge, what you decide to do, and they dictate how far you're going to go. They're not all going to be good decisions you make. Once you start making them, you start to realize that you're going to need an element of course correction. You're going to be able to change things as we go. That's a reality of a productive journey. That's what we're working on. Finding a way to step outside of your daily thought process, step outside and look at what you're doing, and to be critical of your routine, your progress, the direction that you're going. You can do that. You can do that. You can do it on your own, and you can also do it with help too. Failures are going to be part of your success. Just accept it. It's not going to be perfect. To learn from them, you need to have some sort of management, some sort of way to take a step back, to objectively look at what you're doing, where you're going. But in my mind, there's no such thing as being a failure at the guitar at all, as long as you're trying to get better. There's no such thing. It's an equation. Play plus learn plus enjoy plus share equals success. And staying on a long-term journey removes that brick wall, removes the dead end, the totally being stuck. And it removes that negative defeatist attitude towards the guitar. You're going to figure this out. And with some help, you're going to be able to figure it out much faster. There's nothing impossible to those who try. That was Alexander the Great. I don't know what he has to do with the guitar, but it's true. There's nothing impossible if you're willing to try. This isn't impossible even in the current learning culture of guitar, which is not set up for you to be successful. See, I'm trying to shift your thinking because it's what's holding you back, right? Everything is going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Didn't it sound nice? Sometimes you need to hear that. I know I need to hear that sometimes. Even though no one around you saying it, sometimes you need to hear that. It feels good to hear that from someone who really means it. I mean it. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to be really good at this. You can be great at this. Being a great guitar player is not difficult at all. It's just not obvious. We have to figure this out. And you're not going to please everyone. Don't even try to please everyone with your guitar playing or anything else in life. But we're going to think of it this way. If you're excited about what you're doing, your excitement is infectious and it can bring others along on your journey with you. And then you can decide what you let in and what you turn away. Stay positive. If you stay positive, you've got an unfair advantage over everyone else. So you might say, I don't want to struggle. Think about it. What defines how you got this far? The struggle. The struggle defines you. Think back to your history with the guitar, your milestones as a guitar player. Every important part, these are all overcoming some sort of a struggle. That's the good stuff. Don't avoid it. Why are you avoiding struggling? Work the struggles. Work them and you'll be able to figure all of this out. But with something as challenging as guitar, but isn't it great that we have something that's actually challenging to do? The guitar is not dumbed down for that everybody can do it. It would take a lifetime to really master the guitar if I was doing it all on my own. But I'm in debt to all of my mentors that sped things up for me. And I'm trying to pass that on to you. This is the journey. I love adventure movies. I love inspirational adventure movies the most, or TV shows. How about let's see what's out there, right? That's Encounter at Farpoint, Star Trek, right? And then also roads, where we're going, we don't need roads. That's Doc Brown. I'm trying to shift your thinking to a journey because your thinking is what's holding you back. This week's part 2, and what part 2 is for every one of these lessons that we have on the podcast or on YouTube, I have a second part of that's only for Academy members over at the Academy. It's this week's part 2 is called Your Guitar Structure for Success This Year. And these part 2s are starting to build only for the Academy members. You get instant access to all of my part 2s over at playguitaracademy.com. So here's my thoughts on how to get good at guitar. Surprise, it's not what you think. Taught a lot of players over the year, and I like to pay special attention to their progress. And what I've found is it's never been one thing. It's never been a specific exercise or like a milestone that happened that pushed them into becoming a musician, into musician territory. In fact, there's 3 big changes that I've seen in students. It's really just their approach to practicing that's responsible for putting them on the fast track. We're going to talk about those today. These 3 concepts are foundation that I use for everything I create and provide to you to help frustrated players finally see big results. They aren't shiny. They're not sexy. They're not expensive, but they make a lot of sense. You're going to hear them today. And you might think, that's nothing. I know that. I could do that. But these things are important. They're very important. They're paramount, and they need to be worked to bring success. This is top level stuff, top shelf requirements. So what's the problem? Why isn't everyone doing it? Very few people actually do these things, even though they're common sense. Very few keep these as the center of their practice. The first one is repetition. You've heard me say that a lot. I like to repeat repetition. There's never been and never will be a better tool for musicians than repetition. It's your secret weapon. Repetition always makes things better. This is no time in this journey to have a short attention span. Say it out loud with me. I have a very long attention span when it comes to guitar. And daily repetition is something altogether more powerful. The rewards that you get from repetition, it's really to the point of being a little spooky. It's creepy. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by creepy? Well, it's nothing for you to add some daily repetition to what you're working on in your practice and your schedule. And it's like magic for your musicianship. Tell me I'm wrong about this. Put me to the test on this one. How about you work on something new every day this week at the same time each day for the same amount of time? Do it for a week and then come back here, get back to me and tell me what happened. I'm telling you, it's going to be too good to be true. You're going to be experiencing the power of repetition firsthand. It is super easy. You just show up. You go through the motions. And what do you get back? You get a 10x return on your effort. And it's not stressful. Yes, please. Sign me up for that. Thank you very much. That's what I want. The next not very shiny thing that will help you actually move forward is limitation. Let's talk about this. You're swimming in distraction all of the time. I remember when the internet was cute. It was fun to do. It's not cute anymore. It's like a gremlin. This thing has courted you, it has you, and it knows it. It's not even hiding it anymore. It knows it's got you. And it knows that you know it and you don't care. And why don't we care? Because we're so eager to make things easier for ourselves and to get what we want. Well, we got it. With guitar, we got what we wanted. And it's not working. It's not good for us. What we wanted wasn't the best thing. Have you seen that picture of someone drinking out of a fire hose? The fire hose is at full blast and someone's trying to drink out of it and you can't even see their face, right? It's a meme. You see them all over the place. That's you. You're in it and you like it. You want more because you have an interest, right? And you search out the answer and you get a little hit of whatever chemical it is your brain sends out when it's won something, right? Ding, 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 ding. Pick your prize. And then what happens? it wears off and you need more. So what do? You keep clicking. And eventually you can become an authority on your interest, on something that you can't actually do or you can't actually perform. We're building a world full of guitar authorities who can't show the benefits of their knowledge. It doesn't manifest itself in their playing. This is dysfunctional at the minimum. So what I'm trying to do is flip this. Let's turn this thing completely over. Limiting yourself is the only way you're going to actually use what you can handle. We need to turn it down. We need to turn down the faucet, the spigot, until you are actually able to drink from the fountain. And what does that look like? It could be spending a week on something, or a month, or a few months on a foundational skill that will make you be able to take what you learn and really reap the benefits of it. You can limit yourself in all different ways too. We do it with phrasing exercises, how many notes you could use to improv with, or how many notes you can use in a chord or an area where you'd play the chord, or you could focus on the difficult changes in a chord progression, just, going back and forth between those two. Or you can focus, limit yourself on the lessons that you work on. But you limit yourself down until you find the amount of information that you can actually handle, that you can process. And what do? You work it until it's on autopilot before you start adding more stuff on. This seems old-timey, right? It seems slow, but it's not. It's light years faster than being overwhelmed all of the time. The third thing that's going to help you move forward is protection. Guard your ideas. Your ideas, your decisions about these ideas are important. Don't let anyone take them away from you. Don't let anyone get you down. If you plan ahead of time that this is going to happen, that others are going to react negatively to your journey with the guitar, it makes it a lot easier when it happens. And it's going to happen. It softens the blow. Oh, okay. Here's what I was preparing for. You get a little off-color remark, or you get out and out negativity from someone. No one's going to make this happen for you. It's all you. You got to do this. And if you decide that it's important for you, you got to draw the line in the sand. This is what's going to happen. There's going to be setbacks along the way, but that's all they are. They're just setbacks. Think about it. Setbacks don't have teeth. The word failure, that has teeth. A setback, let's sleep on it, and everything's going to go great the next day. Make these things the rules of your journey. Protect them. And over time, you're going to reap the benefits. There are a million reasons why you shouldn't do this. But that one reason to do this for you is special. And don't let anybody take that away. Don't let any situation steal it away from you. Life is short, and it's time to start living. You see, I'm trying to shift your thinking because your thinking is what's holding you back. I'm continuing this subject. If this is something that you think you could use help with, I have part 2 to this. It's for Academy members. This is it's called Guitar Structure for Success. I've got a video and a worksheet for this. And you can head over to Play Guitar Academy right now, sign up and grab all the part 2s and actually my full roadmap and a whole bunch of other stuff too. So thanks for hanging out with me today on the podcast. A little bit of news. I've got the new community. I'm going to be working on that today. It should go live today. On Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, we have a group class in the Academy. We are going to be doing exercises for linking together all 5 patterns of the minor pentatonic scale. You can go in there into the Academy, watch all of the old ones that lead up to this if you're interested in getting better at the minor pentatonic scale, which we all need to do because we use it all the time. Then we also have Coaching Club on Thursday at 5 Eastern, and we're going to be finishing up our chord tone soloing course. And I'm going to be putting that all together for you in video form pretty soon. I'm calling it Solos That Make Sense. And I've got a special pre-sale sign up to jump on it for $27. You can also check out part 2 of this on Mondays in the Academy. So I'm going to call it. That's a wrap. Thanks for joining me today for the Play Guitar Podcast. Make sure to hit the button below to subscribe to the show. And if you've benefited from this podcast, please leave a favorable Apple Podcast review. It is the best way to make sure we get this very valuable content to more guitar players around the world. And if more help, structure, and results in your guitar playing sound good to you, what are you waiting for? Play Guitar Academy is here. Join the world's most exciting and carefully planned guitar system. And together we're going to build your own online home base for the guitar. Thanks again. I will see you in the next episode.